All right, hey, how y'all doing? We are back for another review of How to Get Away with Murder. We're on the final season, episode 6. Final season, episode 6. All right, so we are at the place where Michaela is showing up at Annalise's house, and well, her and Gabriel were in the shower, and she gets a text from Annalise, and Gabriel's like, "Hey, Annalise texted you. What did you want?" And Michaela's like, "I don't know." So she shows up at Annalise's house, and and Lisa says, "Hey, it's about Solomon." And then Solomon emerges from the shadows, um, and he says that he wants to be in Michaela's life now. When he wished she never left 30 years ago. Blah 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 blah. And all she really just wishes is that he was there while she was, that way she would have never had to live with that. The white racist family that she lived with that told her she was nothing but a government check. And just kind of detailing some of the things she had to go through in his absence, being put in a remedial class because she was so afraid to speak because she was getting bullied and all these other things that they just assumed she was slow. She just detailed a lot of things she had to go through in his absence, and she just kind of wished he was there for those events, instead of now. So that was a little bit emotional for her. Yeah, so we go back to the house where everybody lives, and Michaela is ranting about Solomon to Oliver and Connor, and then Oliver gets a text message from Bonnie. I don't think he really told the group what the text was about, but I did put a note here in my notes that this whole Michaela Solomon thing is getting old. I mean, if he's apologized, written you a blank check. He's he's kind of sort of tried to make every effort to make amends. He made a mistake 30 years ago. Granted, yes, he should have resolved these issues way sooner than now, but there's absolutely nothing you can do but continue wishing he was there. So either get over it and stop talking about it, or stay mad and don't talk to him. Like, because I think she's just gonna keep holding it over his head for as long as he's in the picture. All right, we are at Bonnie's house, and the text message that Oliver received earlier in the episode was for him to come take care of Frank. So Frank did live; he didn't die. He may or may not have some complications later, but for the moment, he's alive and he's lucid, so we'll take it. Um, I'm gonna go over to Asher's mom's house, and he's over there doing some ridiculous dance of sorts. I guess he used to do when he was a kid. It looks like some sort of Irish type. Forgive me for the lack of knowledge, because I don't know what culture it is, but it looks like some kind of Irish jig that he was doing. I guess in order to kind of liven his mom up and bring her out of her depression. And she's not having it. She's like, I know what y'all are doing here. Y'all trying to cheer me up. And she tells him that, her depression isn't a switch that she can turn on and off, which, I could definitely sympathize with her on that, because they're just trying to do everything just to get her in good spirits. But, she'll come out of it when it's her time, as I guess her statement. Anyway, um, and Asher's sister, Chloe, lets us know that the meds aren't working and that they need to figure out a way to get their mom back in good spirits, or to get her out of the slump so that she does not commit suicide. I guess, they're heightened in this aspect because their dad committed suicide, a couple seasons ago. So they're trying to be hyper vigilant about their mom from this point on. So, yeah. Um, we'll see what happens with that. All right, so we go back to Annalise, and she's trying to cash in with Solomon. I held that secret about Michaela for years, and it's time for you to pay up. I need money. I need to get out the country. And she needs money to disappear because of the FBI investigation. And Solomon lets her know, like, hey, I'm going to help you out, but you're still a quitter. And, they're talking about it or whatever. He lets her know, hey, yeah, you quit everything just like you quit us. So that tells me that they may or may not have had a relationship in the past, which, Annalise, who haven't you had a relationship with at this point? It's pretty gross, actually, when you think about it. But, yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. All right, so we are back, and Frank tells Annalise that Xavier has Wes's confession, so they need to figure out some some kind of counter move. They got to do something. They can't just sit around looking dumb. So Annalise gathers the team and she tells them that they need to file a restraining order against the Castillo family. I'm confused. Why would you file a restraining order against the Castillo family? They have, what I would consider to be like mob ties. Like, a piece of paper is not really gonna help, but I guess. So yeah, that's the course of action because we're all just kind of grasping at straws at this point, and there's not really a solid way forward to avoid what's happening with the FBI and the Castillos coming for the group. So I guess that's better than just sitting around doing nothing. All right, cool. So Michaela lets us know, like, it would have been easier for her to accept Solomon if he was a deadbeat or if he was in jail or if he just kind of, gave her up because he didn't have any other options. However, Solomon ended up, when she set out to find him, that's what she expected. However, Solomon ended up being a fairy tale version of what she thought a father should be. And despite all of that, he still chose himself over being a father. And I guess that's very hard for her to accept, to know that he was great, he was rich, he was everything. He was great on paper according to society standards, but he still decided to walk away from her as his child. So to her, he's kind of no better than any other guy that walks away from his kids, which I'd have to agree. All right, so Annalise kind of puts that bug in her ear just to hope that Michaela will give Solomon a chance. I guess Annalise needs to keep Solomon in good spirits because she still needs him in order to get her out of the country. So Solomon gets a text from Annalise saying that she did her part by talking to Michaela about Solomon and that he needs to do his part. And with that being said, he calls a very good lawyer or some team of people, some kind of VIP clients that will may be able to help her get out of the country and out of the FBI troubles. So yeah. We move over and we see that Nate is trying to seduce whatever Tegan's whatever Tegan's ex-wife, whatever her name is, in order to get information about Tegan and her ties to the Castillos. And she tells him, like, she didn't have anything to do with your dad's death. And she basically confirms the story about the $500,000 stock that Xavier gifted to Tegan years ago. However, she has no idea what the reasoning behind Xavier giving Tegan the stocks for, and that he'd have to ask Tegan that information herself. So it's kind of looking like Tegan has nothing to do with, well, we already know that Tegan has nothing to do with Nate Sr.'s death, but Nate Jr. won't let it go. All right, so Solomon talks to Annalise, and it seems that he has a jet on the way. They just still have to work things away. So Annalise may be getting whisked away to give up everything in order to get rid of the FBI, the Castillos, just to wash your hands of everything. He lets know, when you leave, you have to give up your mom, your family, your students, everything. You're going to get a new identity. Like, none of that will be a part of your life anymore. And it's just something she's willing to do at this point, which I understand. If you're going to kill me, I give it all up too. But everybody's at the house, and Asher's sister Chloe shows up, and she says that she needs a night off from their mom because I guess their mom kind of prefers Asher to Chloe for whatever reason, and she just comes there and gets drunk and just kind of enjoys the evening, not having to deal with the issues that comes along with the mom, which that's understandable. We move on and we see that Tegan shows up at Nate's house, and she tries to further convince him that she had nothing to do with his dad's death. And this is after Tegan's ex-wife recorded the conversation with Nate and sent it to her, and she fires Bonnie because she thinks Bonnie was there. Well, Bonnie actually was there as a spy for Nate. So Bonnie gets fired for the umpteenth time this season. So yeah, she also lets him know that Tegan also lets Nate know, like, hey, I didn't have anything to do with your dad's death, and as a peace offering to let you know that I didn't, let's file a wrongful death suit against the jail, so just so you can get some kind of money, some kind of compensation, kind of for your pain and suffering, and just for me to let you know that I didn't have anything to do with your dad's death. And we also learn a little bit more about Tegan in this scene, and we learn that her whole family is dead. So her entire family is dead. I hope that has, so she lets Nate know, like, hey, I understand losing your whole family and that type of pain. However, I had nothing to do with your dad's death. Now, I hope that her whole family didn't end up dead in correlation to her dealings with the Castillos, and that the $500,000 stock or vested interest in that company isn't some type of blood money for her family being dead. Because remember, her whole family is dead, and Xavier, she did something unforgivable as it relates to Xavier and the Castillos, and as a result, she was given a $500,000 stock. Um, I hope that's not the case, but that could be why they're telling us that her whole family's dead at this point. All right, we are back from the break, and for whatever reason, Connor is now obsessed with figuring out why he was chosen to be a part of the K5. Price now, I don't think I even heard of the K5, but I'm assuming that the K5 is the Keating Five, which is Annalise Keating, her 5 chosen students, whatever. But he wants to know why he was chosen, because now we know why Michaela was chosen. Now we know why Wes was chosen. I think we kind of know why Laura was chosen. I don't think, well, I think Annalise had some dealing with Asher's dad. So we kind of know a little bit about why every person was chosen other than Connor. So he's on this quest to find out why. At this point, the Casillas is about to kill everybody, or the FBI is about to take everybody to jail. So I don't think it really matters, but we'll go with it. All right. So Solomon shows up at the law firm, and Connor and Gabriel are kind of rushing to introduce themselves as her boyfriend. Blah blah blah. Michaela whisks him off and tells him, "Hey, hey, why are you here?" And he says he's here for Michaela, just to get to know her better and to fight for a spot in her life. And Michaela's really not hearing it as usual, and she asks Ellis and Solomon if they were ever together romantically, and the silence itself just kind of answers the question, and she's just grossed out and she wants to go vomit. Understandable. All right, so moving on to Tegan is mad at Cora, her ex-wife, for flirting with Nate. Even though Cora lets her know, like, hey, I only flirted with Nate in order to kind of throw him off of your trail, just to get him off your back so that he wouldn't go digging further into your life. And Tegan is still upset. I don't know why she was actually doing you a favor, but she wants to be mad because Cora told her last episode, like, hey, I don't miss you. I'm not in love with you. Let's just not be in a relationship. Let's just end this off clean. So, yeah. Yeah. So, Connor shows up at Bonnie's house and he asks Bonnie, like, hey, why was I picked for the K5? And Bonnie lets him know, hey, Annalise didn't pick you. I was the one that picked you. He's kind of trying to call bullshit on it, but she lets him know his application essay says that he stood up for some kids at a camp. I don't remember the name of the camp, but he stood up for some kids at a camp that were being mistreated, and this is also the same camp that she had been mistreated at as well, and she kind of wanted to learn who Connor was and learn more about him, which is why she picked him. She also lets us know that Annalise lets her and Frank pick one student, I guess, every time there's a new class that comes through. Frank picked Laurel and she picked Connor. So there you go. She picked you because of your essay and your heroism to defend these helpless children at the summer camp. It doesn't sound plausible, but we're going to go with it. Okay? All right, so Annalise shows up in court and as it relates to the restraining order, and the Castillos have subpoenaed Solomon to testify against Annalise. The Castillo lawyer claims that the company that Solomon hired to help Annalise, they create fake passports, etc., blah, blah, blah. Solomon, because he didn't know that when he picked him, he just know that Annalise needed help. Annalise, gives this compelling story like, hey, I fear for my life and I am willing to do something illegal in order to save my life. Judge, if you want me to die, you don't help me. I'm going to die if you don't help me, so my blood will be in your hands. And they end up winning the restraining order. And as a result, Annalise calls Bonnie and tells her, hey, tell everybody to destroy their phones. Because I guess at this point, the FBI is going to be coming at them harder, and the Castillos are also going to be downing up the heat on them as well. So, however, when they were on the stand, the lawyer lets them know that, hey, maybe Solomon is helping Annalise because Michaela is also a person of interest in the murder investigation. He did not know that because he had asked Annalise earlier, hey, what is Michaela's role? Does Michaela have anything to do with the FBI investigation? And Annalise tells him no. However, when the lawyer is kind of, questioning Salem, he lets him know, like, hey, Michaela has something to do with this. Maybe that's why you're trying to help Annalise. So Salem was blindsided by this information. Of course, Annalise ain't gonna give you all the tea up front. Like, you gotta get the information that comes to you. Anyway, so Asher is back home with his mom and his sister, and mom is saying grace, and she asks the Lord to forgive Asher for his sins, and she tells Asher that she forgives him, and Asher is like, what am I being forgiven for? Do you really still think that I had something to do with Dad's death, or if I'm the reason he's dead? And the mom just says, in order to get to heaven, you have to ask for forgiveness. So I guess that is her assumption. Like, hey, yeah, I was still mad at you, but now I forgive you. And he lets her know, like, hey, no, you have a lot of things that you have to be forgiven for as well. He flips out and storms out. So yeah, um, I guess that's why she's depressed. I'm not really sure because his dad committed suicide, I guess, a while ago at this point, but I guess she was still holding on to it, and she decided to forgive him about his role in his dad's death in this instant. All right, cool. So everybody's destroying laptops and phones, getting rid of evidence. Tegan shows up at Nate's, and she says that she forgives him, for trying to implicate her in his dad's murder and all that other stuff, and that, she'll help him with the wrongful death suit, blah, blah, blah. I just said that earlier. Um, Annalise gets a mystery package at her door. Bonnie moves on. We flash back to Bonnie's house, and Frank lets her know, like, hey, I was on pain meds when I said, let's make this thing official, but I meant it. And she lets Frank know, like, hey, she's still on the whole Ron Miller thing, and she's not overrun, and she needs more time. Girl, Ron is good and dead. There is nothing you can do to get Ron back, so just move on. But we know Bonnie is uber sensitive, and she's gonna dwell on that for quite some time. So yeah, Frank wants to make things official with Bonnie, and she's still harboring on Ron Miller. Okay, cool. Annalise opens the package, and it's passports, it's a new identity, it's a new cell phone, and she is now Justine, honey. Annalise is Justine, and she is about to get the fuck ASAP. She about to get up out of here. She ain't got time to be waiting on nobody to come kill her. She about to go. So yeah. Um, Solomon shows up at the house where everybody lives and to tell Michaela that he's here to take her with from all the stuff, and he can help her. He can help make her life much better and, help her to achieve whatever other goals she has in life. And she's so distraught at the fact that this man wants to whisk her away from potential death and jail time that she lets him know, hey, I don't ever want to see you again. And when I become a Supreme Court justice or the CEO of some planet or something amazing or the president, I would know that I did it on my own without your help. Michaela. She's stressing me. She's making my head hurt. Did you want him to be in your life or not? Because when he wrote you the blank check, you didn't want it, and later on this episode, you cut up the damn check. So if you don't want to be bothered with him, stop taking his calls. Stop meeting with him. She's giving me mixed messages as it relates to Solomon, which I guess she doesn't really know how to take the fact that he's not dead and take the fact that he's not really all these other things that she had created for him. But it's time to let it go, girlfriend. Anyway, she tears up the blank check, and then Asher comes in and tells her that he still loves her and that Gabriel's not the one for her, and blah, 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 boo-hoo, whatever. So I'm assuming they're going to hook back up before all of this blows over. Okay, whatever. So we cut to Asher. Asher storms into Bonnie, knocks on the door, and he kind of stumbles into Bonnie's house. He's lucid, but he's kind of out of it. He's kind of out of it, and she looks at his clothes, and there's blood on his clothes. So Asher has, I won't say Asher killed somebody. Asher's covered in blood after leaving Michaela's house. I don't know, but I guess we're getting a little bit more insight into who died, who done it, and why. So we will see what happens. This is episode 6. There are a few more episodes left in the season, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.